guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're filming a little short social media piece for one of my mates. Ryan, say hi to the camera.
Hello people, what's happening?
He's going to be our beautiful talent today. I'm going to show you guys a few bits of the setup today, just so you can get an idea of what we film, how we set up the shots, why we made the decisions we made, and just take you through a little bit of the day. So yeah. So the first thing I noticed with where we were filming is that it was a wide open space. You know, there's plenty of room for different angles, and there was large windows letting in a lot of natural light. This kind of meant that we didn't actually have to use too much light. We used natural light for pretty much every shot, with maybe like one light just to kind of fill in a little bit of the shadows, which was really helpful because it meant that there was enough light in this location to mix up the angles and still maintain enough exposure and the right balance of light throughout the whole shoot. So the opening shot was the establishing shot, so I knew I wanted that to be wide. That would set the scene, tells the audience where we are, and sets the scene of what's going on, starts to tell the story. So obviously for this, I had Ryan sitting with his feet up, watching the laptop, and he's just stuffing his face with some popcorn. And as you can see, we sort of dressed the setup a little bit with some more wrappers from different like chocolates and sweets and some empty cans, just to basically say that he's eating a lot of rubbish during lockdown and he's not really doing much exercise. From that shot, I then got Ryan to stay in a similar position and we got the camera a little bit closer, and that's when we started to introduce a little bit more comedy into the skit, with him throwing up the popcorn, etc, just looking lazy and like he doesn't really care. This close-up shot allows Ryan to sort of tell the story with what he's doing, opposed to the set telling you the story. In terms of sound design at this part, we basically just had him rustling the bag and some of the crunches from him eating the popcorn. Some of that was just captured on the day and some of it was added in just to kind of exaggerate it a little bit more. I also had quite muted canned laughter that you can hear that's meant to be coming from the laptop, as if he's just watching some sort of comedy show. This is quite subtle, but it gives the audience the feeling that there actually is something playing on the laptop. So for this next close-up shot where we're going to start introducing the sort of horror aspect of the skit, I knew I wanted there to be some sort of sound that happened that I was going to put in post that would alert Ryan and make him start to look over and look a little bit concerned. So we knew he was going to hear something and we just wanted him to do a quick jerk of the head and kind of look to the side and look a little bit concerned. At this point there's like a big shift in the genre of the skit. It goes from easy watching to some sort of horror aspect and you start to think there's something more sinister going on. And a lot of this is told by like the shift in the music, but at the same time I kind of wanted it to dip back into comedy, and that's where we kind of came up with the, you know, he's looking concerned, he's looking frightened, a little bit like what's going on, and then he slowly takes another bite of the popcorn, which just kind of keeps a little bit of the comedy aspect, and I just thought that was a nice touch. At this point I decided to use a kind of ghostly sound to sort of add to the tension that's building, and that led us right into the voice part. Okay, so initially for the ghost voice, I wanted to record my own voice here, do some processing in Adobe Audition, and just use that and try and make it sound as less like me as possible. I really just didn't like it. I don't know if it was because it was me, I knew it was me, but it just was really throwing me off. So I decided to jump onto Fiverr.com and just pick someone who did kind of scary voiceovers and get them to do something for me. So what I actually ended up getting from the voiceover artist was really good. She done some processing to it before she sent it over. I then just wanted to add a small effect to it to just give it a little bit extra that you can do quite easy on Adobe Audition. I'm going to show you how to do that now. So if you open up your clip inside Premiere Pro and you find the bit of the voiceover that you want to edit, and then if you just right click on that and go to edit clip in Adobe Audition should then open for you with the clip inside it. Okay, so now when you've got that opened, what you're going to want to do is double click on the clip. That'll highlight the whole thing. And if you go to effects and then down to reverse, you're going to reverse that. So that's just reverse the clip, so it will sound pretty strange. Okay, so now we're going to add some silence to the clip. So all we're going to do is move our playhead to the end. We're going to go to edit, insert, and silence. And then I'm going to add about maybe 3 seconds onto the end of it. Hit enter, and then you'll see that we've got 3 seconds after the clip to play with here. So then again, I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to go back to effects. I'm going to hit reverb and choose full reverb. I like to use Great Hall, or there's even one called Ghost Whispers, which is quite fitting. But I'm going to use Great Hall for this, and I'm just going to turn the output level up a little bit, just to get to a point where I like it. So that sounds really good. It's got a nice build up and a nice tail off now. I'm going to hit apply. So obviously still doesn't make much sense because it's backwards. So I'm going to double click the clip again, and I'm just going to go to effects, and I'm going to reverse that again. Now if I play that back, it should now sound the right way around again, but with a nice sort of reverbed, reversed version of what they say underneath. So now that's done, I'm just going to hit Command S, and that's going to save it. And if I go back to Premiere Pro, my clip will have changed. And that's it really, it just made the audio clip sound that little bit better, and I did this for the other voice clip that we'll hear later on. Up until then, there hadn't really been any music, it'd all just sort of been sound design and different sound effects, so now I wanted to bring in some music to start building the tension. So now that we knew that there was something clearly going on in this general direction, I wanted to switch the camera around and show the audience from the other side so you could see what he was looking at. And then at this point we knew we wanted the doors to open really slowly, as if something's opening it. So for this, what basically happened is we framed it so that Ryan was in the foreground, that the doors were in the background, and there was something kind of cutting off the bottom of the frame. They were punched in enough so the bottom of the frame wasn't showing. So basically I could lie on the ground and slowly like prise the door open nice and slow to get that nice sound effect and just to make the doors look like they're opening by themselves. The next two shots were the first shots from actually inside the gym. We wanted him to just sort of stand almost silhouetted with just a little bit of light coming through right in the doorway. This was basically the same setup with the camera just on a tripod, and then I just kind of edited them together so that it looked kind of like it was happening all at the same time. So the shot you're seeing now is actually one that I had planned from the beginning when we were first coming up with the idea. I've seen it in countless horror films, I'm sure you have too, where it kind of looks like someone is watching you and sort of peeking out from behind in a direction that the subject isn't looking at. Basically all I did here was it was handheld, and I just moved it in and out between like a beam that was in the gym to give this sort of like creepy peeking effect. For the next shot I wanted the camera to rush towards Ryan, as I knew this was going to be like the crescendo of the music. I knew this was going to be the kind of impact moment of the story, so I decided to put the camera on a gimbal to get a bit more stability so that I could really like run the camera at him to introduce some like speed to the clip as if something's chasing him. So once the music and the risers all start to get to its crescendo and Ryan falls, we kind of cut to black and you can kind of just hear the sound effect of Ryan hitting the ground. Now that the skit has kind of changed direction to mainly like a horror slash like thriller direction, I wanted to finish it off, I wanted to reintroduce the kind of comic relief and kind of leave the audience with a little bit of a laugh. So we had Ryan fall to the ground, and then we had a top-down shot, and basically we framed that, had him hold the popcorn, and then I just yanked him by the ankles and pulled him right out of the frame, and I told him to just let the popcorn go flying, see where it landed. I also told him to let out a big scream, which we actually used in the final piece. So that was it, that was the skit. It only took a couple of hours, and we didn't really use any crazy lighting setups, so we flew through the shots pretty quickly. I hope you enjoyed the rough breakdown of this, and as I always say in my videos, I hope you learned something and you can sort of apply it to one of your shoots. You can also go and check the skit out on Ryan's personal training Instagram page, which you can find here, and give it a like if you enjoyed it. That's all from me. If you enjoyed the video, then consider leaving me a like and subscribing to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next one.